What's up guys, Kazra here with a very interesting video for you guys, and that is top 7 things I hate about my Grand Prix. Now it took me a while to figure out a list of things because I absolutely adore this car. This car was basically my dream affordable car since I was a little kid and I saw this car in NASCAR, but now I found a couple things from experiencing the real world with this thing, and I want to share this with you guys. Now let's begin. Number 7. So the first thing I don't like about this car is the handling. Now this might be a debatable one. Handling with this car is really it has a boat-like feeling. You know, it has a really boat-like feeling. The car feels like it's gonna tip every time I turn. Like right now I'm turning, I get a lot of body roll, and that's because the car has a lot of center weight. But I might get a lot of debate on this. A lot of people will say, oh, put this, put that on your car, it'll handle a lot better. But right now it's a stock form on the suspension. That's how it feels. It feels like a complete boat. I cannot do anything with it, you know? I can't turn sharply without confidence, okay? So that's number 7. Let's move on to number 6. So number 6 was a really odd one. It's the shifter. The shifter it looks like a chicken leg. You know, people who have Grand Prix out there or want to buy them, the shifter's huge. You know, it's not very, like, it feels like a chicken leg, literally. It's so big, and I don't like it at all. So it's not, I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad shifter, it's just, it feels weird, especially when you have the cup, when you open the cup holders and there's cars in there, you can't really, you have to go around them. But that might be a fault on the cup holders, but the shifter's so big and I really don't enjoy it because it's honestly not, they could have done better with it. But that's number 6. Moving on to number 5. So number 5 is the plastics in this car. It's honestly, everything creaks and creaks all over the place. Like when I was driving the car after like 2 days of letting it sit, I heard so many creaks here and there from the interior and stuff. It was really annoying because just the interior doesn't look cheap. It's just made of cheap plastics, you know. Everything can fall apart really easily, and that's why I keep an eye on everything really well, because I know that any second something could just fall apart because they're really cheap material. So that's number 5. You know, it was hard for me to say about that because I do like the style of the interior, but but seriously, the plastics are ridiculous. All right, so number 4. This one, it's a lot of experience with a lot of people, is definitely the gaskets. My oil pan gasket, transmission pan gasket are leaking right now. They're not leaking bad, but they are leaking gradually, and my intake manifold gasket might be leaking. I'm not sure yet, but the car is burning oil really bad. It might be my valve seals, piston rings, whatever it is. But one thing these cars are common for is their intake gaskets. Now, this, I bet everyone will agree on with me, is the intake gaskets for sure. The intake gaskets on these cars are not very good. They can break really easily, they can crack, and coolants just start leaking. And I mean, I haven't experienced a full leak, like I don't want to, but that's definitely one weakness about these cars, right? That I do not enjoy at all. Now, number 3. This one was just from personal experience. This wasn't from other people agreeing with me. I mean, this is just from personal experience, but a lot of people will agree on me on this. Is the rocker rust on these cars. You know, it's the rocker rust. The rocker rust on these cars is horrible because when these cars were factory made, they had no protection. They had no mud guards, nothing to really protect the rockers from hitting salt or anything like that. So they would really wear out really easily. And I really didn't like that. I really don't like that. When I bought my car from this guy who only drove it in winter, so the salt hit it, he never cleaned it, so the rust on the rockers is gone. The rockers are completely dead, and they're still like that. I am getting my rust guy to fix it soon for me, but for now it's just like that, and I cannot lift up the car on the hoist by the rocker panels because of course the car will fall apart. We have to lift it up from the subframe or something. I mean, it's not annoying, but they could have done something more smarter with that. But yet again, that was maybe 15 years ago, 16 years ago, so it's too late to maybe make that idea up now, because first of all, Pontiac's gone, and it's all about how you treat the car nowadays to let it last. Now, number 2 was literally the first week I bought this car. I fell into this problem, won't stay. They won't last. Like you need some harder parts. You need some harder clutches or shift kit or something to keep these trannies alive. Like I have a tune on the GTP right now, so I mean that's probably why it's maybe a bit more transmission longevity. But yet again, when I'm racing, when I'm on the drag strip, I do feel that struggle in transmission to switch from gear to gear. It does like a slow kind of shift, but that might just be because I might be putting a bit more power down than stock, so it might just be that. But it's definitely the transmissions that are my number 2 thing, close to number 1, because these transmissions, they will go if you don't take care of them. If you don't take care of them really well, I'm telling you guys right now, these trannies will go. The problem I fell into the first week I had this car, 3rd gear's clutch burned out when I was racing, and so I had to go get the full transmission rebuilt because 2nd was going and 4th was almost done. So, and 1st was also slipping. I managed to get that all rebuilt by a shop. Now the car is really running really smooth. That's why I want to give it a tune, make sure I get a shift kit for it, make sure it has a bit more longevity in it, because I do want to keep this car for a long time. So I want that to happen. Number 1. Now this one was a big debate for me between the transmission and this problem, and I thought this one was definitely more common. Electrical problems. These cars, I don't know what's with them. They have so many electrical issues. I don't know what is with them. Someone please explain to me, but this car has a lot of electrical issue. Mine in particular, after a month I had it, the RPM light bulb and the gas light bulb went out. Now right now, I'm reading, like at night, I can read it if there's light on the streets or if I turn my overhead light door on. So I can't see it in the dark. You know, the bulbs are gone. The speedo bulb and the temperature bulb are still there, but those just went a month after I had the car. Another thing, the right rear reverse light. I changed the bulb, the light came back on, worked for about a week, shut out. You know, some people are saying it's the switch, something in the gear shifter, and I really don't have the energy to pull this whole console off just to fix this little reverse light, because the left one is working properly. Now, another thing, the heads-up display. The heads-up display, my heads-up display used to work so well, but right now, it works when it wants to. It dims up and down when it wants to. It doesn't dim with the little dim light you flick up and down. It doesn't work anymore. It literally does it when it wants to. When I'm going fast, when I'm racing, it doesn't work at all. But when I'm slow, I'm on the highway, and I'm just hitting a cruising speed, it'll just dim back on. I don't know if it's just the heat of the engine. I don't know. I don't try to focus on the electrical issues of these cars because it's honestly a waste of time and energy. And I don't know about money, but it's a waste of time and energy for sure. And I mean, the light bulbs on the instrument panel, I mean, those could be fixed. You know, I could just pull the thing off, get them fixed. But seriously, electrical issues is the big part of this car. Like they can definitely, if you don't keep your maintenance up to date, especially with the electrical faults on these cars, they will kill on you. They will seriously bother you to your limit. But that's basically what that's number 1 for sure on this car. That is number 1 on the Grand Prix, is the electrical issues, in my opinion. So alright guys, that comes to the end of my 7 things I hate about my GTP video. Stay tuned, because I am going to put the 7 things I love about my GTP video, which will probably be a lot more better, because I absolutely adore this. I made a list of the 7 things I love so easily in a snap. The 7 things I hate were really tough, because I absolutely adore this thing, like I said. So it was really tough to post 7 things I hate, because 7 things I love, I got all 7 like in a snap. So stay tuned. I will be posting that really soon. Thank you guys so much. Super casual.